deal out. And I am excited to be hosting this call on tonight. And when I tell you, we got some power pack information that we are going to share on tonight. And we have a stellar lineup. I love all three of these all-star moms. And when I tell you they're no strangers to success, they're successful in this business. They've been successful in life. They've been successful in motherhood, right? So you're going to hear from some people who can really show you how that you can balance, well, prioritize. We're going to use the word prioritize your life, your time, and your finances, and still be able to make as much money as you desire. So first, we're going to bring up Miss Tiffany Powell. Now, she's in that Houston, Texas area, four-star director inside of this amazing opportunity. She's earning over $250,000 inside this opportunity. One of the top 50 income earners in all of Planet Marketing. Miss Tiffany Powell, how are you on today? Look, your camera say Walter, but you look like Tiffany.
I know, because that's because I'm on Walter's computer instead of my computer. Mine's went dead, so that's why it says Walter.
Tell Walter he playing this. He wanted to be on the Zoom. I know what Walter did.
So bad. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Miss Latoya, how are you?
I am amazing. You look beautiful. And I love the fact that you're going to be able to share with the people on today how you have balance. We're going to use the word balance, but we know it's more prioritized being a wife, being a mom, not just any typical mom, but a mom of, individuals who played sports at a higher level. And man, not only have you been a mom, you have your niece, you have an amazing story, and I'm not going to tell it. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring the rest of the panels up, and then I want you to share your story with everyone else, okay? Okay. Next, we have three-star director, Sapphire Ringware. She's earning over $100,000 a year inside of this opportunity. Again, she wears many hats. I love the fact that she is what she calls herself, a glam mom as well. So is Miss Tiffany Powell. But this young lady wears double hats in this business. Not only have she built a team of well over 500 individuals, but she's what we call an IntelliTravel ambassador, where she coaches and trains all 100. She has the ability to coach and train all 130,000 agents around the world. Miss Tish the Shields, how are you on today?
I'm doing great. So good to see you, Director Mayberry McCombs. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone on tonight.
And you look amazing as well, y'all. I want them to tell you their age, but they probably won't, because you'll look and be like, this is because don't they look good? Y'all put in the chat, don't they look good? This is what money will do for you. But let's go on. Let's bring up our next individual. She is a 2-star director inside this amazing opportunity. She leads a team of well over 300 individuals. But this lady, she wears double hats as well. She's building a team, but she's also an ambassador with IntelliTravel, where she has the ability to train all 130,000 agents around the world. She's a wife. She's a mom. But not only has she, she's a mom of, of sons who played at the highest level, but she's a wife of a husband who played at the highest level. Miss Trudy Scott, how are you on today?
I am amazing. So excited to be here to share with this lovely panel of superstars.
I know y'all look amazing. So we're going to jump right in because I know that people are excited. You see the chat. You see how they're blowing up the chat already. So they're excited to hear about, what we all came to share on tonight. So we're going to go back to you, Miss Tiffany Powell, because I want you to really, truly tell the individuals on the line, the guests, as well as the business partners, who is Tiffany Powell?
Okay, before I get started, I would be remiss to let you guys know who's monitoring this Zoom. She is Miss Latoya Mayberry McComb. She is a 5-star founding director on her way to 6 stars, which means that she has earned $500,000, shy of $1 million, shy of $1 million on her way to that double diamond ring to become one of the millionaires in this companies. So you guys put in the chat and give her kudos as well, because she is rocking and rolling, and she is one of the top 15 income earners inside of this company. So thank you, and it's an honor to be in your presence, and it's an honor to see your humble service, because I mean, this is what it's about. It's just serving the people, and thank you for your service. I am Tiffany Powell. It's simple. I am a wife of 30 years to Mr. Walter Charles Powell IV. I've been knowing him since I was 12 years old. We are actually high school lovers, as they will say. We have 5 sons. We took care of 3 godsons. We took in my niece when my sister got incarcerated. Been having her since she was 7 years old, and she's 34 now with her own family. And I am just a shaker and a mover. I just love what I do. I love serving the people. I love talking to women. I love being a part of this travel business. It has truly changed my life, and I like to share the opportunity with other people so it can too, because I was a stay-at-home mom with 5 sons, helping my husband build our real estate company. But in that time, I couldn't help my husband financially when the real estate market crashed. And so came along this travel industry. And when it was brought to me, at first I was like, no, but I was traveling anyway. We was going all over the world. But when this opportunity came and we lost everything, I had to take a step back and look at that travel business. And little and behold, now it has freed my family. It has freed my husband. But most importantly, it has given me my independence as a woman. So welcome to our travel business.
I love it. I love it. You didn't gave me so many nuggets, but I'm gonna come back to those nuggets. Miss Tish the Shields. Who is Tish the Shields? If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I am Tishty Shields. I come from very humble beginnings, small town, small state in Seaford, Delaware. Some of you may have heard of Seaford, Delaware, but if not, that's where I'm from. But I'm thriving in Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. I proudly wear the title of mompreneur extraordinaire. I'm a glam ma. You know, I love helping people, hence the reason why we're doing this Zoom on today, to help the people. This business has literally allowed me to live boldly, unapologetic, authentically, and out loud. Okay. It's not just a business for me, ladies and gentlemen. It is my passion unleashed. You know, I am a mother of 5 children. 4 biological children, and I have an adoptive daughter, and every last single one of those children play sports at an elite level. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 5 are professional athletes, 2 are in college, competing at a collegiate level, and sports have always been a part of our lives. And I've just embraced this journey of supporting them every step of the way. So here I am, Tishty Shields, willing to share with you a powerful business model that can change your life for the rest of your life.
These 2 ladies both then said something. Y'all put in the chat, servant. Servant. See, I was brought up in the ministry, and my dad says service to many leads to greatness. You help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. And I see why you ladies are successful. Not only did you raise your children, but you reached back and you grabbed some other children and said, hey, we have the means and the ability to do it. And so we're going to help these young people become the best that they can be. And we're going to talk more about that. And you all have done that. So I just say kudos to you. And of course, my sister in success, Miss Trudy Scott. Who is Miss Trudy Scott?
Well, that's it. I'm Trudy Scott, originally from New York, born and raised in Queens, St. Albans, Queens. And my parents moved to California when I was in college, and therefore that took me to LA. Well, while I was there, I met my husband almost 40 years ago. He played for the Lakers, and I was planning to go to medical school. That was my goal. But I took a year off to take the MCAT, right, to study. And the rest is history. That never happened. I didn't go any further with that. But we actually have 3 amazing adult children. They're all adults now, and they are all in the sports world. My daughter, she is a journalist, sports reporter. My middle son is director of grassroots basketball for Under Armour, and my youngest son plays professionally in his 10th season. So we love what we do. This business has really afforded me the opportunity to live anywhere. We've lived in so many different places. We followed him when he went to Ohio State, we moved to Ohio. Why not? Because I had a business that had flexibility attached to it. So I could actually be anywhere. So we moved to Ohio for 4 years, and then he left, he graduated, he came to Atlanta to study or to work out and train for the next level. And then next snowstorm was coming. And I said, and we're in Ohio, why? I'm like, oh no, we need to get out of here. So that brought us back to Atlanta, and we've been in Atlanta ever since.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and oh, am I muted? Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Okay. Wanted to make sure that you can. So let's talk about this, because this is going, what the individuals came to hear tonight is the story of some travel, elite travel parents who have taken the travel industry by storm, a $10 trillion industry now, where you have positioned yourself on the money making side of this industry, where you got real estate on the internet. Now, as you all shared your story, both all three of you all come from elite backgrounds as well. You know, your husbands were very successful in their own rights. You became moms. And of course, some of you all probably gave up your dreams to make sure that you were the best mom. And when you found this opportunity, you actually found yourself. So what made you, Miss Tiffany Powell, what inspired you to start a travel business while managing all of your personal demands, and being a travel ball parent? You had children that played sports at a higher level as well. What made you look into the travel industry and say, yeah, this is it? I know you said you saw it at down, doing the economic turn of the market, but what else was it?
Besides that, when I was at an opportunity meeting, I was sitting in the front row as a guest. And when I was sitting there, I was watching all the top income earners. And just so happened, there were ladies that was walking across the stage. And I started right then and there dreaming about my dreams that I never fulfilled. And it made me realize that this opportunity was going to offer me a place not only to be able to travel the world, but also be able to financially live out my dreams. Because I was one of those wives that supported her husband for 30 years. And I too played basketball. I too gave up my scholarship to Louisiana Tech because I got pregnant and started having sons. And so I couldn't pursue my dreams. I couldn't pursue my college degree. I couldn't pursue the things that I wanted to pursue. But in that moment, when I was sitting in that room and I was watching everybody, all the women walk across the stage making extraordinary amounts of money, coming from all different backgrounds, and you mean to tell me I didn't have to have a degree to make that type of money? I knew I was in right then and there. I knew this is what I wanted, not only for my family, but for myself, to be that person that say, hey, this opportunity can't allow me to step out the shadows of my husband or step out the shadow of my son that played in the NFL for 10 years. This opportunity can allow me to make my own money. This opportunity can allow me to be financially free and not depend on nobody to do anything for me. So that was one of the biggest things for me, was to really live out loud those dreams. And little and behold, I have obtained my college degree, and I paid out my education cash in full myself. I have obtained some other things that I had dreamed about doing. I just pursued those and finished that. So it's a lot of things that, because of the decision that I made personally, not for anybody else, because in that moment, I was my own why. I was the reason why I want to do this. And I find that a lot of sports moms out there, we tend to lean a little bit towards the financial freedom that our kids can offer us when they go on to the next level. I didn't want to be that mother. I wanted to make more money than my son made. I wanted to make more money than my husband made. And this opportunity was going to allow me to do that. And I'm still pushing for it, but it's allowing me to jump over hurdles that I could never imagine jumping over had I not made a decision to decide to partner in this company.
And see, that's a good point because some people didn't get a chance to live their dreams, so they start living their dreams through their children. And I love it that it didn't look like the typical thing that you desire, but you saw the opportunity to expand yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you miss opportunities because it's not dressed up like overalls and look like work. I just want to put that out there. Miss Tish Cecile, what inspired you to get started?
Well, you know what, Director Mayberry, I was actually praying for something. Most people don't know this, but I was a single mom of all those children. I was married to a professional athlete for 17 years, and my money started to look strange, you know, and my money was funny and my change was strange. So I started to pray for an opportunity that would generate additional income for me, so, and also give me the freedom and the flexibility to move about with my children. At this time, two of my children were already recognized worldwide as being top in their class. So they were, traveling and being on the U.S. Olympic basketball team, and one at this time was a professional baseball player. So I wanted to have the freedom and the flexibility to keep supporting their dreams without getting a corporate job, because I knew having a corporate job was going to restrict me from the ability to move about with them. And so I was actually praying for something, and a random stranger saw me on social media, and he noticed that I was traveling a lot with my kids, and he literally went into my DMs and he sent me a message. And his message was, I see that you travel a lot with your kids. What if I could show you how you can save on what you're already doing, generate some additional money, and have a home-based travel business with that interest you? And I met him for lunch. And when I saw the presentation, it did not take me long. I knew immediately this was what I was praying for. So I didn't have to pray again. I didn't have to ask permission. I got started right away. And so, yes, I was one of those people who was praying for an opportunity. And when it presented itself, I knew it and I seized it. Back
Wow.
to you.
And how many of you all will not ignore a DM anymore for opportunity that you can turn into $100,000 a year, over $10,000 a month? Some of y'all been ignoring it because you said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know if this real. I'm skeptical." But what Mr. Shields said, she couldn't be two things, and that's skeptical and broke. She said, I had to take a chance on me. This was an opportunity for me. Some people live in fear and allow the false evidence of things appearing real to keep you from your destiny. Miss Trudy Scott, who is Miss Trudy Scott?
Well, as I said, I am, a wife, a mom, and just like Tish, I really had the desire to travel with my kids because they were on the road, they were doing what they were supposed to do. I mean, they have trained ever since they started when they were about 6 years old, playing, the little bitty ball and all that type of thing. But my husband had retired, so he was coaching them. So they were being coached at a very, very elite level. I mean, it was a little strenuous for them because they were six. They were 6 and 8 years old. And it's like he was calling out plays and he was designing plays and it's going to be like this. And it's so funny to listen to their teammates now. They're like, "Oh, I know Coach Scott would just pick me up and put me over there and like, you're going to be here and you're going to move here and this is how it's going to go." But they all ended up getting, well, not all of them, but six of them ended up getting D1 scholarships. One of the boys actually is the assistant coach at South Carolina now. And when South Carolina girls won that championship last year, Coach Staley, she sat and she thanked him because he was the one who had designed the plays. He had scouted the teams. He did everything he knew that the boys needed, the girls needed to make it happen. But what he said was it was because of Coach Scott, because I was so fundamentally sound. And that's the thing. You need to put your children in a position where they can win. You have to put them where they can win. And it's like if you're going to play the game, play to win. Just like us in business, we have to play to win. And he made sure that they had everything that they needed to achieve their desired goals. With us, before moving to wherever we moved, one of those moves, we lived in California and I owned a shoe store. We owned a shoe store. It was fine Italian men's shoes. But we had one store with huge overhead, employees, payroll, workers, taxes, all matching taxes, all of that. It wasn't fun. Though it was a very, very elite clientele we had. we had to be there, or it wasn't run the way we wanted it to be run. So when I saw the opportunity to have hundreds and eventually thousands of stores, it was like a dream come true. This was something that I could do and still have that flexibility to travel with the kids, to travel wherever they were. I could be there because I wasn't tied down to having to be in one place 7 days a week. And that was it.
I love it. Put your kids in position to win. Y'all, oftentimes we tell our kids to be A and B students, and we're D and F parents because we don't take opportunities to really see it. So my next question, this leads me to the next question, Miss Powell. Can you share a moment when your travel business made a significant financial difference for your family, and how has being in the travel industry allowed you to support your child's sports career without financial stress?
I can share a few of them. All of my sons played sports, every last one, from the time they were 4 years old, all the way up until high school, college, and on to the pros. And it was times that when we were traveling, it was times that I was able to present my travel business to the team. And at times when we were playing and they were in high school, junior high school, playing park ball, when other parents didn't understand, didn't have the money to put in for their child to play in bowls in other cities, in other states, Walter and I was able to step up and say, hey, we can get 2 buses because we're travel agents, and we can put the team on these 2 buses, or we can block out these rooms, and instead of paying this amount, you'll pay at least half of that amount. And not only were we able to do that, but in doing that, we were also able to, so many rooms that we booked, so many buses that we got, we were able to have credit for another bus at another time, or we were able to get a certain amount of rooms for free. Or we were able to upgrade some of the parents that had 3 and 4 kids to suites. But not only did we get confirmations, we came back home to checks. And that was a big deal because we're growing up our kids grew up in Atlanta. And where they were playing, it was parents that really could not afford to send their kids to these different states and city to play. It was a time when Walter and I were able to sponsor 2 or 3 players to go to the Catabout. And I don't know if y'all know what that is, but that's, Google it. That's a big deal. And some parents couldn't even afford to get their sons to the combine to even try to make it to the pros, to be eligible for the pros. So because of this travel business, it not only helped us make significant amount of money, but it also helped us to bless other people that didn't have the money for their children, but had children that if you put them, like Trudy said, if you put them in a right position and in the right space, that they will fly. And all 3 of those boys that we sent to the combine went to the NFL. So I'm just saying that for us, that was a big deal. And then when my family started growing, because all my kids are adults, my youngest is 19 going on 20, my oldest is 35. So all my kids are adults. Now, out of those, 3 of them have kids. So now I have grandkids. So it's 15 of us when we go on family vacation. Matter of fact, we're leaving Friday to take the grandkids to Orlando on a family vacation. And we were able to get a big enough size house condo for all of us to fit in that space. And all of my family, if we want to travel 15 deep, we can travel 15 deep with no problem. So when I say it's very, it has really impacted my life, where I can impact my family life, where I can impact other people's life, where I can impact my grandkids don't have to pray, wish, and hope and dream about going to Disney World. They will be in Disney World all next week. And then from Disney World, it's Walter and I's birthday. We're leaving from there and we're going to spend a weekend in New York for our birthday. So when I say this travel business had allowed us to travel as insiders and allow us to do some significant things for our family to be able to travel. My babies are between 4 and 9, and they have been more places on more planes than any of my friends has been, and I'm over 50 years old, than any of my friends has been. And they have passports. So when I say it's been really significant, it's been really empowering, it's been really powerful to our family, it has. And if you want to, if you ever deem yourself to be in a position where your family cannot travel or you don't have the means to do it, but you have the dream, this is it. This is the right place at the right time with the right people that will help you reach those dreams and fly the world.
I love it. And that was just one thing that I was going to say, Miss Tisha Shields. You know, when you were traveling, you weren't traveling one, two, three. You were traveling with 5 different individuals. And I love the fact that when you invest in the travel industry, you are your own independent travel agency. You book travel, you earn 70 to 80% of the commission of all travel that is booked. Y'all just imagine, commission is already built into the travel that you're already taking. So doesn't it make sense to put your bank account in the middle of the transaction? Ms. Tisha Shield, can you share with them how this opportunity can allow them, sports moms, sports dads, the opportunity to really take advantage and be lucrative in their travels?
Absolutely. You know what I like to say, Director Mayberry, and to the guests, this is money hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of everybody's eyes. But as long as you operate with your consumer lenses on, you may not see it. But the moment you see that there's money embedded, those commissions are already there. You know, most of you are already doing the work, you're price comparing, you're already doing the work, but you're not getting the commission because you're a consumer. But the moment you become an agent, you're now entitled to the commission. And I will say that this business has, of course, allowed me tons of freedom where I can pivot on a dime. Whenever my kids call me and they need me to be somewhere, you know, I have that freedom and that flexibility to be present with them without having to ask permission. But I was, as I was listening to Tiffany Powell speak, it made me think of a time when I had an RV. Sounds a little crazy, but I actually had an RV. One, because I had a lot of children, but two, I had the freedom and the flexibility to bring other people's children with me, especially for those parents who couldn't get off work on Friday to drive out of town to that tournament. You know, I had the RV that I could put my kids, their kids, and get them to the tournament until the parent got there. So I'm just forever grateful and thankful for an opportunity where I can make unlimited money to give me the freedom and the flexibility to be in position to help other moms, especially, you know, the single moms, but the families who just can't, for whatever reason, get there. So on tonight, I just want the sports moms to understand, if you've been looking for a way to supplement your income, you know, and supplement your lifestyle, this definitely is it. I've been able to book trips, not sports trips, just regular vacations, where I've been able to garner commissions that are 5-figure commissions, commissions with, you know, a comma in them. So those types of commissions can make a big difference to offset whatever cost it is to put your child in the right place, to get the proper training, to be underneath the tutelage of whoever that coach is. You know, it costs. And I can only imagine what some of you new parents are going through right now, because we went through a lot of the dirty work years ago. I mean, the economy right now, the cost of food. I remember when my kids used to graze all through the night. I don't know about y'all on the line, but if you got some sports kids that are grazing, you need to go and put that in the chat. They are grazing. They are eating throughout the night, throughout the morning. It's nonstop. So it's like, how are y'all able to afford the rising cost of food and the rising cost of, you know, travel expenses? This is the answer to those questions. Back to you, Director Mayberry.
If you're a sports mom, I see some dads on here, sports dads, put it in the chat. put sports in the chat just so we can know who you are. I mean, just what you're saying, the rise in the economy. Y'all, hotel rooms, I'm looking at consumer rates, $200 and something a night, $300 and something a night. Not like it used to be. So I love the fact that if I'm going to pay $200 and some a night, I can definitely get a commission on it. I can bring money back into my home instead of just giving, the vendor or the supplier all the money. Miss Trudy Scott, share the a significant time where this business opportunity has truly blessed your family or someone else.
Well, one of the biggest things is we would do a lot of tournaments in Disney. Back then it was Disney Wide World of Sports. Now I think it's ESPN. But we would go there, but most of the children, we had to take the group because the parents had to work. Most of the parents could not really get away for as many tournaments because we had tournaments like every single weekend. So we would have to load them up. We would get those little mini buses until they got to that point where they could fly, where they had the means to fly to these tournaments. And but I would be able to book all of that. I would be able to go and get the 3-bedroom condos for them and so forth, take maybe 2 or 3 parents, and then we would divide and we would, divide and conquer. But the thing about it is, with that being said, the kids, they had such incredible experiences. And I think that's what's so important for children, that they know there is another level. There's another level out there. They don't have to just, go outside and play stickball. You can, whatever you dream, you can achieve if you put in the right element. You have to be there in the right place in the right time. So for us, my husband was his passion. It was his passion to get out. Now, he wasn't the easiest person to be coached under. As they said, his delivery was not, warm and fuzzy, but they achieved. The commissions were there for us, as Tiffany said. Once we would come back home, we would book the trips, but we would come back home, and there was a commission check waiting for us. So we were able to negotiate for the best rates because sometimes we had 3 or 4 different parents. So those are 3 or 4 different rooms, and the kids at some points in time they were sleeping 4 to a room. You're traveling with 15 kids, so you had to, we had to do what we had to do in the beginning, but the commissions were always there, and we were always able to negotiate to get the very, very best rates so that everyone could achieve what they wanted to achieve at that point in time.
I see some sports moms, some sports G-Cheese, some sports grandmas. Just imagine if y'all sports mom, how many kids on that team? Maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe 20. And then they got to bring the sister, the brother, the cousins along with them. So that's probably about 10, 15 rooms. And you can call up a hotel, block off the room block. You don't even have to deal with the other parents, and you earn a commission. Y'all put in the chat, wow. So Miss Tiffany Powell, let's talk about it, because some people are probably saying, okay, this sounds too difficult. What is the learning curve? How hard is this really to really make money? I want you to talk about that.
I mean, is it hard to travel? I think everybody want to travel.
You're already doing it, right?
Right, already doing it. So why not turn something that you already doing into an income? Why not? Why not turn it into income? It's not that hard. It's all it is just making a decision to decide and make your mind up. It's a mind shift, right? Because you go into something not knowing, but then when you realize what it is, and then you realize that, oh, this is not as hard as I thought it would be. Because I was like that, y'all, trust me. Trudy and Tish would tell you, I used to be like, don't ask me about the travel part. Let me just talk about the money. I don't want to talk about the travel. Y'all talk about the travel. I'm gonna talk about the money. But when just being around them, because I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but me, Tish, and Trudy are very close. My kids used to go over by Tish house. We stayed in the same subdivision, and my kids was part of those kids that Tish had to feed. So my kids and Tish kids grew up. We travel together. Like, we have been to Dubai together. I mean, when Trudy say Charlie is a no cut, he will cut you. But it's not like It's not like in a mean way or nothing like that. It's just his personality. So I'm just sharing that with you guys so you guys can know that we are not just on here as sideline business partners, but we spend time together. We are truly friends and we are sisters in success. And we know each other background, where we came from and how we got to where we are right now. We have watched our kids grow up. So this is not hard, especially when you're doing it with people that you love. And when you're doing it with people that you love, it's so easy because I know when I don't know something, I can pick up the phone and I can call Tish. I can call Trudy. It's many times Trudy would tell you. It's so many times that I have called Trudy and say, "Hey, how I book this cruise? How I book how I block out these cabins? How I do this?" And that's the brilliant thing about this business is that you're not in business by yourself, right? You have a whole bunch of people that will gather around you and that will help you achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But most importantly, that will point you in the right direction to learn whatever it is that you need to learn. But the first thing you have to do is make your mind up and say, I'm going to do it. Because once you make your mind up, then it's going to be so easy and sweatless because your mind is made up. And when a person's mind is made up to do something, then nothing and nobody is going to stop them from doing it. Not even being in the not knowing. Because being in the not knowing is a dangerous place for everybody. It's uncomfortable. But when you jump into that thing and you see yourself traveling with your friends, you see yourself traveling with your family, you see yourself just, I mean, it's so many trips that we get emailed. And I know I can't share the amount on here, but when I say penny on a dollar, and you can just jump and say, "Oh, I'm going to Bali." I just saw a trip to Bali, so I'm bringing that up. Y'all just got an email about agents coming to Bali. So, I can go to Bali, but this, I mean, it's just I spend that in Walmart. Let me just give you that example. So when you can do those things, then yeah, it makes you want to dig deeper. It makes you want to learn more so you can be successful, and not only be successful, so you can go out there and really travel and bless other people, because that is what this business is truly about. It's not for you to keep it to yourself. It's for you to go share with others so others can do exactly the same thing that we're doing and make income while you're enjoying yourself and having fun. I think that's really easy, having fun and making money while you're doing it. I think
I
y'all will
love
agree.
it.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Shields, let's jump into it because I think they want us to break it down. How
Mhm.
much money do families typically spend on travel sports, and how can they turn this expense into an income? You know, we want, as you talked about, it's rising costs right now. Hotel rooms, food, all of that. Eggs are $8. $8 a carton. Man, we never seen that. So how can they use this business to offset costs? Let's give some examples because I want them to really understand the industry.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I'm just going to share one of my testimonies for those who haven't heard it already. As I mentioned earlier, I had put together a huge trip, and that trip was a spring break trip. It was for some seniors in high school. They were going to go to Mexico anyway. How many people listening in right now know groups of people that are going to go on vacation anyway? So they were going to go. They reached out to me. I organized it. Hey, we've got some people on the line right now who are always organizing trips. Well, I put together this trip with the help of one of our trusted suppliers. That's the other key thing here for you all to know, that you're not going to have to do it all by yourself. You've got the layers of leadership, sideline partners. We got 130,000 agents in 20 different countries. But I contacted one of our trusted suppliers and they helped me organize that trip. And those individuals, 250 of them, went on vacation, had a blast. But again, I earned a commission that had a comma in it, ladies and gentlemen. So think about making a commission that's 20 plus $1,000. I'll not to be specific, but to kind of give you a ballpark of what that looked like. 20 plus $1,000, ladies and gentlemen, was my commission. Think about how many bills that took care of. What if you just booked one trip like that a year? Or maybe you booked two big trips a year, including the AAU trips that your kids are already participating in. Some of you listening in right now are the teen moms, or you might be the coach that's actually organizing it. Think about all the tournaments that and the travel that you do on a regular. And you just make a phone call to one of our trusted suppliers and they help you with that booking and you are entitled to the commission that's already there. So some of you are struggling with trying to figure it out. Well, I'm telling you, we got the solution. This business changed my life for the rest of my life. Please understand, I don't know about the rest of the ladies on the line, but I'm not going anywhere. I am always going to be in the arena of travel because there's $10 trillion to be made. And I just want some of it. How many of you listening in right now just want some of the money? Some of the money to offset the cost of living, and being an entrepreneur is the way to go. Again, we're living in some, peculiar times right now. We're going to have to do something different if we want something different. And I'm going to tell you right now, entrepreneurship is the eighth wonder of the world. Back to
I
you.
love it. I love it. So I want each of you all to give me one because I know we're running close to time and I got a couple other questions, but I really want to touch on this. What are some misconceptions about starting a travel business that you wish you had known earlier? And I'm gonna start with Trudy and then Miss Tiffany and then Miss Tish. I want all y'all to give one. What is one misconception? Because I know a lot of moms on here have mommy guilt.
Mhm.
Mommy guilt is a big one. So let's talk about what are some misconceptions.
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is, first of all, that it costs a lot of money to get certified to become an agent. Because most companies out there, you may have to pay $3,000 or $4,000. I've seen one that was actually $11,000 to become a cruise specialist. But for us, we have a host agency, and it's just like real estate, where you have a broker, and then you have agents that work under that brokerage. So our host agency, they really have done all the certifications and everything that we need. We have our secretaries, as Tish was talking about, which are our suppliers and our vendors, so we can make a phone call to them. Basically, we just need to know who, what, where, when, and why. That's it. And we can take that, we can call the vendor, give them that information. They put it together, they send back the quote, we send it to the client, and it's done. And this is the thing. Most people have a go-to person, or you may be that go-to person. When someone wants to get away for a long weekend, where should we go? Well, all of us have those people in our lives, or we are that person. So now you have the opportunity to book that, but also get paid for it. So the biggest misconception is that it's a lot to learn, and your hands are held here to make sure you understand what you're doing, putting yourself in that position. And then the cost, we have a very, very, very small entry level cost because we have so many agents, it's offset. So I'll take it from there.
All right, Miss Tiffany Powell, what is the misconception? Because there's myths about this business in general. So what are one of the misconceptions for you?
I think one of the biggest ones is that you have to know everything before you get started. That's one of, and I can say a couple of them. I can go into a scam, I can go into pyramids, I can go into all of that.
I love it.
But for those that really see us and really believe in doing something to set them free, we are the evidence, we are the examples. And I am truly that person that can honestly tell you, you do not have to know everything before you get started. The people that are most successful are the ones that just decide to get started and learn on the way. And you hear it we hear it all the time. Just do it. And the leaders will come behind you and clean it up. So you don't have to know everything. All you got to do is make a decision.
I love it, Miss Tish the Shields.
Yeah, and I loved what Tiffany Powell said in terms of, you don't have to know it all. You just need to know who to call. That's what okay, y'all. That's mine. That's my tagline. That's my tagline. Y'all can borrow it. Okay.
I'm gonna take that, Tish. I'm taking that.
You don't need to know it
all.
all. You don't need to know it all. You just need to know who to call. But I also would like to share with the listeners that our training is impeccable. Our company prides themselves on making sure that we are the most educated agents out there. So we've got free, unlimited training. So you can decide if you want to be a cruise specialist, if you want to be Disney certified, or if you want to be a, destination wedding, it's up to you. I mean, this industry is so robust. I really feel like I'm a kid in a candy store most days because I get an opportunity to get served and educated. And the more you learn in this business, the more you're going to earn. So again, it's a simple success system that we have in place. And if you follow it, we've already created the blueprint. All you have to do is just follow it. So unlike traditional entrepreneurship, when you start your business as a traditional entrepreneur, there is really no blueprint. No one's there to help you, right? You've invested enormous amount of money with no guarantees that you're going to make a profit in traditional business. But over here, we've got guarantees. Not only are you going to make money, but we've got 3 guarantees wrapped around this amazing travel product. And one of those guarantees is the best travel price guarantee. And that just simply means that if you put together a quote for one of your clients and they find that exact same itinerary, I'm talking apples to apples, and their itinerary that they found is less, we're going to meet it, we're going to beat it. And if we don't, we're going to give your client 110% of the difference of those 2 packages. That's like a customer retention tool. The second guarantee that we have is for you, when you get started with us, you're going to have 30 days to test drive us. Come on, guys. Sign up, partner with us, see what all this excitement is about. And if within 30 days you're not happy, guess what? We're going to give you all your money back. We want you to see the value. The third guarantee, which for me was the game changer, right? As a traditional business owner, as I mentioned before, there's no guarantees. So when I saw that this company has a guarantee in place where if you stay with us for 12 months, and I mean, follow our proven success system, and if you do not make more than you've invested in this company, or you do not save more than you've invested in this company over those 12 months, our company is going to cut you a check for the difference, right, of what you made or what you earned, and we're still going to let you keep your business. Guys, baby, when I saw and knew that, man, my credit card slid across that table so fast because there was no gotchas. Those guarantees are everything. So, I mean, I know I get excited when I talk about it, but I'm going to turn it back over to Director Mayberry.
That's okay. Sports mom, sports Gigi, sports dad, sports aunties. What you just heard was a way you can actually position yourself on the money making side of a $10 trillion industry where real estate on the internet, book travel earns 70 to 80% of the commission of all travel that is booked, get unlimited training, $100,000 marketing system, and then 3 guarantees where you can earn and save money on your own travel. Y'all, you can't lose with that, right? Well, that's that passive income. That's just one stream. What if we told you you can make 7 more streams of income? Tiffany gonna start smiling. This her part right here. 7 more ways you can get paid. Y'all, I worked this business part-time initially when I started. 3 years I worked this business and was able to make $250,000. But 8 checks in 1 month. Y'all put it in the chat. 8 checks in 1 month by sharing information with other sports moms, dad, coaches, cheer coaches, whoever. They can actually have their own business as well. And you can make 7 more streams of income. So Miss Trudy Scott, I gotta go over here to you. How did you start sharing this business and why? Because some people would say, well, I want to make all the commission. Shoot, my family gonna come through me. But why did you start sharing and how?
Well, I really started with the old basketball arena because those AAU tournaments, like I said, we had them every weekend for, a time frame, maybe February through August or something like that. Almost every weekend we were somewhere. But then think about it, when you check in for the tournaments, and it could be basketball, it could be volleyball, it could be baseball, whatever the case may be, when you check in, it's generally the coach and the coach's assistant that are checking them in. You get one of those nice little plastic bags for each of the kids. They would have coupons in it for different restaurants. They will also have a t-shirt. But then what I said is, think about every single one of these teams, because there are hundreds and hundreds of teams that are there checking in. If we put one of our business cards, so I had a 4x6 business card made up, and it had a basketball on the front, and it says, who's booking your travel? You can get paid to book your own travel, the hotels, the vans, whatever the case may be. And I just put that in every single, you get permission from whoever's organizing the tournament, and you put that in every single one of the bags. And that was the first way I started sharing it. And then people would call and say, well, how does this work? Because there is a go-to person who had to do that, who had to, find the hotel. Generally it was going to be a hotel that had free breakfast, something like that. We're going to find the hotel. But they didn't get paid for it. Now you can have that override where you're also getting a match on everything else as each of those coaches, dads, team moms, team dads, as they put their teams together, we were matching it. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Miss Tiffany Powell, how and why did you start sharing the opportunity? So, like as I said before, some people want to keep it all for themselves.
Well, because first of all, it's important to share. I mean, it's kind of selfish to keep this opportunity to yourself. Let's just start there. And if you truly care about the people that you're around, like me, I was one of those. Let me just give you an example. I was one of those. Oh, I don't want to feel like I'm selling anybody something. I don't want to feel like I'm chasing anybody. I don't like rejection and all of that. But how many of you guys know your money is in your rejections? How many people know that the biggest companies are word of mouth companies? How many people know that the most important thing you can do as an entrepreneur, because I own my own real estate company, I understand I had to open my mouth as a broker and make sure I sell these houses and get people, buyers and sellers, to come to my company. So I was already doing what I didn't want to do. It was just in a different industry. And then when I realized that if I didn't sell a house, I didn't get paid. Over here, if I book travel, I get paid. If I share the opportunity, I get paid as well. Listen to me, y'all. I don't want you to miss that. If I book travel, I get paid. If I share the opportunity for someone else to book their own travel and partner with us, I get paid. So that was really an eye-opening for me, to be able to go share to friends, families, associates, moms, wives, and especially those that needed that extra income and who love to travel. Why would I keep it to myself? Because now I'm being selfish. And I had to get out my comfort zone and understand that my money zone has no place in my comfort zone. So I had to go share this opportunity, not only because it's income driven, but also it allows other people to have personal freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. And I wanted my friends to have those same freedoms. So when I call you, we can just jump on the plane and go. So that was one of my biggest things, is to make sure that if you are service to many and you sow that seed, then it comes back to you. Because I listened to so many testimonies, like Tish said, it has truly changed her life. And it has truly changed my life. It has truly changed Miss Director Maybeth McComb, Director McComb life. It has truly changed Trudy Scott life. It truly changed our lives. So why wouldn't we share this opportunity so that in return, it can truly change your life as well, financially, and be able to travel the world as an insider and not an outsider. So come get you some in this inside.
Ms. Tishdale, I'm gonna ask you another question, because with the economic downturn, most people are, they're like holding on to their money. They're just like, well, you know what, I'm gonna save. But why is it important for, sports mom, sports dad to make an investment right now instead not rely just on their 9 to 5?
Oh, and I'm glad that's a good question. That's a good question. And the reason why I said that was a good question, because the sports moms, the parents, you understand what it looks like to invest in your child, to make sure your child is put in the right place so that they can grow and, flourish. Well, you should then also understand why you should invest in yourself. Okay. You need to invest in yourself, start your own business so that you can make this money, get these resources, because the best way for you to really help your child is to put that oxygen mask on first, right? Isn't that what the flight attendant says? You got to put that oxygen mask on first in order for you to be okay, so that everybody else around you can be okay. Because I don't know about any of y'all, but I didn't come from money. I didn't have a wealth strategy. Nobody taught me how to become wealthy. But when I locked arms with other wealthy people and I realized that they were not gatekeepers, ladies and gentlemen, we are not gatekeepers here. We are here trying to bring forth some information so that you could be in a better position, so that you can help your children, so that you can be the example, so that you don't have to depend on your child making it to the league. So many of us, again, live our dreams vicariously through our children when I can show my kids better than I can tell them. I done told them to go out there and secure the bag. They're going to watch their mother secure the bag. And so, with that being said, they will not be the only one sitting at that table with the bag. I'm going to have my bag, they're going to have their bag, and now we can go buy that island. You understand? Or we can go buy that sports team. So, we got to lock arms with people who are going to stretch you and cause you to dream bigger, because there is bigger out there, but you got to get out of your own way. Lock arms with us. Let us coach you. Let us develop you. Let us show you where the money resides. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we are on a playground of $10 million. So I ask you on today, $10 million? I'm sorry, not 10 million, $10 trillion? That's 12 zeros. This is the gold mine. How much of this money do you want? Do you want the gold bars? Do you want the gold coins? We got the wheelbarrows. Grab one of these wheelbarrows and go to this gold mine, and let's pull some of this money out together. Back to you, Director McCombs.
And then my last question about everybody, just understand, you get to partner with 2 debt-free companies, right? Planet Marketing and TeleTravel, 33 years in the travel industry, 9 years of partnership. We're 130,000 strong. We have booked $4.5 billion in travel. Just in January, our team in Ireland booked over $1 million in travel. You're looking at a global business in 20 different countries. This is just not a backyard business, everybody. You can actually have outlets around the world. That's what we're describing on today, that you have outlets around the world. The company has already paid out over $283 million in residual income. So we're not talking about just booking travel, earning money. We're talking about leverage and residual income. Ms. Tiffany Powell, she alluded to it. She said, book travel, earn money, help somebody earn money. But what if you can actually earn money from not even opening your mouth because of what somebody else did? Now, that's what we're talking about. Last question, legacy, Miss Trudy Scott, and then we're gonna give them the price point, and then we're gonna answer some questions. But how can parents use this business and build a generational wealth?
Asian. At this point, it feels as if
leave inheritance for your children's children's children.
Well, that's the beautiful thing that we have, because most of us, once we have developed it, once anything in your job, if you're on your job and something happens to you, the money's gone. You may have worked really hard to secure some things for your family, but the rug could be pulled right from beneath them. But with the company here, what Planet Marketing has done is put it in place. So we have a few simple barriers you have to cross, and you get to what's called a director in the company. And we go from one star to 10 stars. You can fall on any star that you want. But as a director, your money that you earn, because it's residual, that's the big piece. Our money is residual. We get paid month after month, year after year, based on something we did one time. The 4 of us went to Jamaica in November 1st of 2015, and we're still today getting paid for what we did that day. So 10 years, almost 10 years later, we're still getting paid. And residual income is amazing. Now, if something were to happen, you've now created that legacy, your weekly, monthly, because we get paid weekly, monthly residual income is passed on to whoever you deem as your successor. And that's a powerful thing. So you're creating generational wealth for children that we don't even have, grandchildren that we don't even have yet. It's a matter of us just doing the work, and the work is fun. The work is fun. I always say it's not like we're digging ditches. We're traveling. We're seeing the world. We're doing what we want to do, and we're helping a whole lot of other people do it with us. So that's that legacy piece. Priceless.
I love it. Everybody, you just heard that you have the ability to truly have a business where you can do something one time and get paid time and time again, leave a inheritance for your children's children's children. And I know you're wondering how much. $199.90. Y'all go ahead and laugh. You saying I get all of that for $200. Yes, one time, you never pay it again. You invest in a business opportunity like these ladies have done, turn it into six figures, turn it into the amount of money. I call it a wealth evader. Get out from whatever level you want. You have the ability to make unlimited income, 8 checks in 1 month. You got 30 days, as Ms. Tisha Shields told you. Come in, try it out. If you decide it's not for you, no contracts, no quotas, gift your money back. But then your actual overhead, 30 days later, you'll pay $59.90, $2 a day to run your business in the largest industry in the world. Y'all, closing comments. I'm gonna let y'all, I know y'all some talkers on here. So one sentence, what would you say to the moms and dads on this Zoom? Why should they get started? Starting with Miss Tiffany Powell, Miss Tisha Seal, and Trudy Scott, and we're out. Well, we're gonna take.
Okay, go ahead. You
Go
want to
ahead.
go?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why I believe you should get started is because it will really change your life. This company has changed over 130 something thousand families, and you too can be a part of that. And we are here to let you guys know and share with you that we are the example, and we're inside that percentage, and that if we can do it, you can do it too. You just have to make a decision to do it.
I love it. Miss Tisha Shields.
If not this, then what? If not now, then when? When are you going to do the thing to allow for you to live your life the way you desire to live your life? So get back with the person that invited you on. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. It's a $200 decision that can change your life for the rest of your life. Back to you.
Miss Trudy Scott.
I did what these ladies just said. It's a matter of making that decision, realizing that you truly are in the right place at the right time with the right people. And that's something that's generally hindsight. Hindsight. 5 years from now, you don't want to say, I was there, I heard about that company, but I didn't act on it. You're here, let's make it happen.
Y'all are amazing. This was an amazing conversation. You want to stop the recording and take a few questions? Is that okay? I'm following your leadership, Mr. Shields.
Yes, we'll stop the recording.
Okay, awesome. Hey,